And we're live.
How's it going, guys?
Come on into the practice room.
Yeah, we're here to practice some... Yeah, I got nothing. We're here to practice something.
Here to practice your butt off. Do you want to get better today?
Yeah.
Come to the practice room.
Oh, of course.
You're going to get better today.
We need a training montage, guys. We need to find ourselves like chasing a chicken like in Rocky. Because then we'll be feeling like Kentucky Fried Idiots afterwards. You gotta taste the chicken. If you can take a chicken, you can take a boxer.
You come Silly. So, this is kind of a part two to the little time lapse that we put out earlier. So basically, you saw the original beginning stages of this drawing, and then what we're going to be doing today for this show is going over it. Again to make a more finished product. The idea is that each time you redo this drawing, you can add a little more every time. Because now I'm not like on this one. Now I'm not having to worry about nearly as much of the anatomy, positioning, or things like that. Because this character's already got a lot of its body parts set up in the right place.
Yes, and the deal with this, guys, is Alex actually made a speed drawing of this character. Her name is Taokaka. She's from the Blaze Blue series.
Yeah, I probably should have said that first.
No, it's fine. It's cool.
Yeah. So with Blaze Blue is a game that me and Jordan have enjoyed quite a bit.
We definitely have a work cut out for us when it comes to playing that game. And especially when drawing certain characters, because, like I said before in the past episodes, I really enjoy anime drawing, and what Alex is doing here is phenomenal to me, because I love, like I said, I love Blaze Blue, I love anime drawings, and I knew at some point we were going to get to our certain characters that I like, and who better to start off with Alex here, with one of my favorite characters in the series. I mean, it does have an anime, but
you give me way too much credit.
Hey, I'm not giving you enough, man. This looks stellar. But
so, go ahead.
Oh no! What I was gonna say was I bet with even more time and like time right here, it's gonna look even better than before.
Yeah, well, that was one of the things that I noticed on our earlier episodes was that it was, it was taking more and more time to create higher quality drawings. So I think one format we're gonna try now is to kind of actually I'm kind of stealing your idea because you did this already with Skullman, where you went and worked on it off camera.
Yeah.
And then came back with a cleaner product that you could show some more updates on that way.
Right.
Honestly, your finished product had maybe 3 or 4 times the amount of hours put into it than what you saw on screen.
Oh, of course. And the thing is that when guys, is when we come into recording, we usually like to spend an hour or an hour and a half talking and drawing as much as we can. But there are some times that when we want to show the drawing. I think the best idea is actually if we want to show improvements or some kind of details that it would take a little bit too much time for the episode, we're going to think about doing a format where we improve it off screen, but at the same time, we'll make a video of it and we'll show you what improvements that we've done, to make sure that you see all of the bibs and bobs that we did for the drawing.
Right.
So I think with this format, it would be much better because it still shows you, the audience over here, that we're still drawing and we're going to show you the product at the same time, whether it be on the next episode or something like that. And bear in mind, this isn't always going to be a everyday occurrence. It's just the high end drawings that we want to try. That's the thing. If I was last episode, I did items from the Legend of Zelda series, and they were small enough to make in that time frame to a point where where it like I can make multiple items and we can still have a show while we talk, and then I'm still making like certain sprites. So if we have like, but per se,
I was just testing out my stroke stabilization.
No, that's cool. Now, if we have like a high end drawing that we want to try, like with Alex right here with Taokaka, or if I'm going to draw like another Robot Master or something like that, or like another drawing that I want high end, we're going to start. I say we're going to start like usually with like at the beginning. Well, I'm going to try to start at the beginning with like an initial drawing, but if I want to continue and like make some more progress and I didn't make enough, I'm going to try doing a speed drawing like Alex did. And and by the way, guys, Alex should be able to post, or will be able to post our speed drawings in the channel if you guys are interested in seeing the work. Bear in mind, it's
the idea is that you'd be able to see both pieces of it.
Yeah, bear in mind, it won't be commentary, but we still will show you the progress that we made for it, instead of just sitting here and like having no progress made, or like little progress made in the span of like an hour and a half or something like that. I mean, it's not to say that we can't make a lot of progress while we're on the show. It just depends on what we're trying to draw and how like intricate we're trying to make it. So, but just bear with us here, guys.
Just realized I need a new layer.
What's up?
I need to put these on a new layer.
You're gonna put a new layer. Well, I do say you do have the paws. Is it the paws or like it's not a paw? It's like a coat. It's like a coat paw that.
Yeah, it's like a sleeve paw.
Yeah. And that's the thing about Blaze Blue with Taokaka and the Kaka clan. Just the certain mystery of the Kaka clan, how they don't really. If I remember correctly, Taokaka is actually wearing a mask underneath her hood.
I actually don't know.
I think all the Kaka clan do that, actually. Like Tora, Tao, the Elder. Like the Elder, she's wearing a mask, but
yeah, the Elder you can definitely tell.
But I do think Tao and Tora do have masks under the hood as well. So, but bar to say. As for Taokaka herself, as the character, she's actually a comic relief in a sense, and I mean, I love me some comic relief characters. Like I could tell you a lot about like fighting game characters for comic relief, like Dan Hibiki, Dan Hibiki's more of a joke character, but he's more pathetic than anything. But like certain characters like El Fuerte, like he's kind of comic relief from Street Fighter 4. he's a Mexican luchador that is trying to do better at cooking because he kind of sucks at it. But he's like trying to get his own cooking show. but at the end, everybody doesn't like his food.
That's funny.
In Tekken, who is your comic relief in Tekken, really? Well, I'd say it'd be like...
was it Bob? He's kind of comic relief.
Bob's okay. I know that Paul Phoenix, he used to be like really serious from Tekkens 1 through 4. And then once Tekken 5 rolled around, he started becoming comic relief along with Law. So... yeah. Like, they started to become more comic relief. And then they especially became comic relief in Street Fighter Cross Tekken. But that's not really... But that's kind of saying not that much, because a lot of other characters in that Cross series game was comic relief. Like Heihachi and Kuma. Right. Like, Heihachi is like the big bad... Well, I wouldn't say big bad, but he's like... He's not a good guy. He's obviously he's kind of a bad guy, and like you see him just be shit to his son Kazuya, like just him like trying to be create like the empire with the Mishima Zaibatsu, all that, and then you see him in Street Fighter Cross Tekken with Kuma, the bear that because he trained. Actually, the funny thing is, he actually trained Kuma to fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like Kuma was intelligent enough to understand his teachings and stuff, and like become kind of, I wouldn't say kind of sentient, but just more intelligent than he's more intelligent than your average bear. Yeah. Ooh. Hey, boo boo. But anyways, yeah. So the whole deal with Heihachi is that like the whole gimmick of the game is like Pandora, aka Pandora's box, like grants the wish of anybody, like, and whatever desires they have. So in Heihachi, he wants to go there to harness that power, and I believe he was growing old in a sense.
You wanted to kind of do an eternal youth move.
Yeah, well, not eternal youth, but just to be young again, like be in his prime. And Kuma, like, it's not that he wanted to be young. It's kind of like he wanted the power to himself, like usual. Just
to hoard the Dragon Balls.
Kind of, yeah. So, like, as Heihachi and Kuma go through the fights and they finally get to Pandora's box, he looks into it to see what's up with it, and then Kuma accidentally looks at it too much, and the thing is like the light hits both of them, but Heihachi only gets hit in the side of the face, so half of his hair or half of his head is kind of like in his hair goes back to its natural like black color. Meanwhile, the other half is still like the old gray, but he's still old.
Oh,
but then
he only got part of the transformation.
But he sees Kuma and he turns into a cub.
Oh, that's funny.
It's like, well, Kuma got the good end of the stick here.
Basically stole the...
He didn't really try to steal it. He more like just fell into the box and he saw it too much.
Accidentally got all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And Heihachi's wish rubbed off on him.
Yeah, but the thing is that with that game, it wasn't even, like I said, Heihachi wasn't really that much of a big player. He wasn't like the big bad. It was more so like M. Bison and M. Bison, Juri, Zhao Yu, Jin, Kazuya, and Nina. And then who else?
Jun Kazuma?
What?
Jun Kazuma?
No. Jin was with Xiao Yu, the pig-haired chick.
No, I'm saying, but was Jun another major player or not?
Jun.
The girls, the Kazuma sisters? Jun and Asuka?
Oh, yeah. No. It's Lilith and Asuka.
Okay.
Lilith and Asuka actually are partners.
Lilith is the blonde girl.
Yeah, she's the blonde rich girl.
Okay. Maybe Jun hasn't been introduced yet.
No, Jun's Jin's mother, I thought.
Oh. I may have had that wrong.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, that doesn't make any sense.
Never mind then.
You're probably... Are you thinking of Tekken Tag Tournament 2?
Totally ignore my previous statement.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yes, I was thinking of Tag 2.
No, that's fine. Tag 2 is pretty cool too. But I feel so... Like I said, I feel so bad for Street Fighter Cross Tekken. It got such a bad rap. And it's because of what happened to it. So... Here, let me explain. So what happened, there were a lot of problems with Street Fighter Cross Tekken. The biggest problem, however, was that there's already DLC on the disc compared to like putting out DLC, you know? You know what I mean?
Okay.
So here's what I have to explain. So Street Fighter Cross Tekken was supposed to have DLC for like different groups of fighters so they can add on later. So you could like so you can make the choice of actually getting that DLC. Here's the issue. The DLC was already on there. So there was no point to like...
do it later.
Yeah, exactly. Like you could have just... Like they were already on the disc. Like... Because if you recall, DLC is usually supposed to come later. Like when and then you make updates to your console to have those characters be in the system. But they were already on the roster. So there was no point whatsoever to make them DLC.
I gotcha.
So Capcom was just trying to be like, oh, we'll just take your money at that point the second time.
Sure, I'll do it again.
Yeah, exactly. I like getting robbed. But not only that, I felt bad because another thing that really wasn't that not interesting, but the problem was that certain combos when you did with certain characters just didn't really mix up. Like it didn't add up for some reason. And I don't know why. Like I don't know why the combos were so short compared to like other fighter games. Like you can get like a really nice combo string like in either Tekken or like Street Fighter, like Street Fighter 4, like the recent Tekkens. But with this game, it was so difficult to get like a basic like 5 to 6 hit combo and to like keep going. Cause it felt I'm not sure if it's like the tagging system or like the gem system. The gem system wasn't even that interesting either. Like it wasn't helpful in the slightest really. But it did do something, but it wasn't prominent enough to make a difference, in a sense. So, not only that, but this is just my personal opinion here. I don't really care for the art for Street Fighter Cross Tekken. It's because it's like, I don't know, like the characters just kind of look buttered up or anything like that. They just kind of look...
They're really oily.
Yeah, they look really oily. And I think that's the whole artwork part of Street Fighter Cross Tekken. They always went with these oil kind of colors with their intros or their trailers or something like that. I just didn't really care for it. Like I don't think it was that interesting. I mean, other people liked it. That was fine, but I didn't really care for it. I do like, however, when the game was coming out, I did like the soundtrack because they used like kind of rock songs or kind of punk songs for certain trailers, and like it really. And and this is what I'm talking about when it comes to like certain music that really sells whether a video game or a trailer to make you hype. And that's just sometimes what we're missing nowadays. Like I'm not saying that like, now here's the deal. I don't mean that like trailers don't have like hype music. It can, but like sometimes it just doesn't get me hype. I just need that certain music that just like pulls it out of me.
There's another level, man.
Exactly. And the thing is that Maxim I'm gonna reference a
shout out
YouTuber that I really enjoy watching. His name is Maximilian Dude. He actually I think I've already talked about him on the channel though.
Definitely probably.
But
go ahead. I've shouted out several YouTubers at this point now.
Yeah, that's fine. So Max, he's actually a fighting game. He's a fighting game not character. He's a fighting game YouTuber.
Wishes he was a character.
And the cool thing what he does is that he actually does like a lot for fighting games, whether it be like showing the technical stuff of fighting games. Like he sometimes has talks about like certain like certain subjects, like, oh, should you use a fighting stick, or you don't need a fighting stick, or how these frames work, or how, like, what's the development of certain games, or certain
you can get like fighting game news and stuff.
yeah, kind of like that. And I do, and like, I don't like. It's kind of hit or miss with me, because I do like listening to some of the stuff he says, because he is right in certain aspects. But of course, there are always some kind of subjective opinions that I hear that I think. I mean, I'm not saying he's wrong, but I'm saying, like, he's
wrong.
No, no, don't say that.
You have a different opinion.
Yeah, I have a difference of opinion, but I mean, again, agree to disagree. But what I like about it is that, like, there are certain things that he highlights that really, like, brings it out for the rest of us as consumers when it comes to fighting games. Like, he makes valid points in a sense when he's talking about certain games, like, need a hype kind of, like, intro in order to I mean, because if you think about it, like, fighting games, like, you know what you're getting. Like, you know what you're getting with a fighting game. Like, you know you're gonna have to be, like,
punch, kick, grab,
yeah, exactly.
special.
You're gonna know. But the thing is that the thing is about, like, with trailers of fighting games is how much, like, when you're making a trailer, how much can you make it as hype as possible for those kinds of people to watch, to a point where they're like, okay, this looks really interesting. I feel like I'd be interested to play this. And I reference Max because Max actually has an idea of how to try to make, like, a trailer to look interesting. Because he did, if you guys didn't know this, he actually did the intros for the newest Killer Instinct. And the thing is that, like, he knows about like not cinematography, but, like, just kind of, like, angles to a point where it looked like, to make the character that's not like a character that's not like in an animation cutscene, but actually using the in-game model.
Oh.
Like, he likes it. He can improvise with it because he's made the trailers, like, he made the music for it, like, try to make that character as hype as possible. So they can make the characters look interesting to play.
Cool.
And the thing is that he's talked about, like I said, and I've said this again, like, soundtracks for video games or, like, certain series. Like, they're important because it gives off the intention of having, like, trying to lure in newer consumers so they can play those games. Because, like I said, like, if you don't have like interesting music, if you don't have, like, I wouldn't say you need to have a hype, but it
helps.
It really helps to have, like, a hype system where you can see, like, you hear the music, you hear it crescendoing, like, just getting all into, like, insane when it comes to, like, your combo game, like, just beating the crap out of the other player, and then, like, finishing it off with, like, kind of this ending part of the music while you're doing, like, the ultimate super move.
Yeah. It really gets people excited. That the Tekken Tag 2 intro was like that for me.
Oh, but, like, with Tekken Tag 2, like, I would say it's totally different because it's not using in-game models at that point. It's actually using, like, 3D animation cutscene.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, like I said, like, you don't have to use that animation, but it's really cool when you see it. And and also you have to remember that I believe not Iron Galaxy, but the company that did make Killer Instinct at that time had a budget. So it's been years since we've seen, like, a new Killer Instinct. So I'd suppose that game had, like, a budget, so they have to make do. But with Tekken and like other series, like they can afford to use those 3D animations, like to make an intro in the game, you know?
Yeah.
And that's where I'm going to come back to two things. The two games that are made by Arc Systems, Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear. Now, I like these two for different reasons. I love Guilty Gear because of how hard rocking the game soundtrack is. I love the game mechanics, and I love the characters.
It's pretty comprehensive like of the game.
Exactly. I mean, it's just a summary to say how much I like the series.
10 out of 10 would play again.
Yeah, exactly. And I love the three. Like I said, like with Guilty Gear XRD, I loved playing that game. Unfortunately, with Guilty Gear Strive, it has some connection issues with trying to load the game, but it's definitely a good game. Now, I can compare Blaze Blue with Guilty Gear, considering that Daisuke is the same person that made these two series come true. But there are different reasons why I do like Guilty Gear compared to Blaze Blue. With Guilty Gear, like I said, the hard rockin' music, the hardcore characters are really cool. Like they're very interesting. But with Blaze Blue, it's a different story because it feels like it's more story driven. Now that's not to say Guilty Gear doesn't have a story, but with like Blaze Blue right off the bat, you get a story in the series. And meanwhile, while you do, you also have like these cutscenes in the intros in the beginning that look super sick because, like I said, I'm a sucker for anime, and I really just enjoy just how like I like the music there too. But the thing is that I just love the anime cutscenes even more compared to like, Blaze Blue or other kinds of series games because it feels full on anime and it's like I said, I'm a sucker for it.
Yep. Yeah.
No,
I appreciate your enthusiasm. I'm a huge fan too. One side thing. Braided Hair.
Uh-huh.
Pretty simple. I know Tao has a waterfall braid.
Yeah, she does.
Which is technically a. Oh my god, this is tough. It's like this. It's like this, and then they fall into each other.
Yeah. The funny thing with Tao is that. Well, not a funny thing with it, but I'm pretty sure she has like I'm not saying longer hair, but like she has like really big braids.
Yeah, I think I wound up drawing them too small.
No, it's fine. I mean, if you draw them small,
but a simpler way to draw is like the pattern you see here, where you basically are just alternating. You're picking the middle and then overlapping one.
Yes,
but not necessarily all the way to touching.
Right.
Easy way to do a braid.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is way too small.
That's fine. But yeah, like the whole.
So what do we do with all our time? We throw it out the window.
Yep. Goodbye. But anyways, the thing is that, like I said, the anime cutscene part of Blaze Blue, really interesting. We also get more of a fill in terms of personality when it comes to character in Blaze Blue. Like I said, it's more story driven, so I expect that from that game. But the thing is that you get an understanding when you play through the story mode of like what character is going on with which one is tied to another, which ones are rivals, which ones are enemies, like which ones are friends. Just you get an idea of what's going on, like right off the bat.
Right. Because I'm on a different layer.
And then as the story progresses, you start to, like I said, you start to piece together like what's going on in the series. then like and then I think it flips on its face because like just how many twists and turns are in the series. But sometimes I'm not shocked about it, but other times I am very interested in seeing what happens next. As per usual with a story-driven game. But I can see, but back to what I was going to say with your drawing. I love how like the muscle fibers from Tao's leg, right?
And that wasn't intentional even. The whole point was that this is supposed to be the back of the leg as if the knee was facing away from the viewer.
Yeah.
And I basically drew the back of the leg muscles in just to kind of help me visualize it.
Right.
But now that I'm looking at it, compared to my references, her legs are way too thick.
She's hella thick.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, the thing is...
I don't like it now that I'm looking at it.
I don't like it.
I don't like it at all.
Don't worry, you can fix it. Don't worry. Sometimes you have to erase your progress in order to make progress.
Skinny legs.
I mean, because Tao is very limber and very short, but she's super fast in the series. She's the fastest character in the game.
Big speed character, big aerial character.
The thing is that she's not a stick, but she's definitely not fat.
But she eats like she is. Oh.
That is always the trend with Tao. Anytime she's just hungry, she eats like everything. And then like I think it's funny that Ragna says like, where does she put it all? Like just and that's the one thing that I love about this game though, is just character interaction. There's a lot of character interaction. It is a treat. It is a treat to listen to, and it's just super fun to watch. And
it even develops across the games, which is always enjoyable.
And even if there are characters that don't have that much interaction with each other, there are still certain scenarios, such as gag reels and like other funny shenanigans, that tie in those characters with each other for like the wrong reasons. When you know that those two or those three characters don't really see much of each other in the series. Like you wouldn't expect or
they haven't shown up very often.
Yeah. You wouldn't expect Jin like talk with Tao, or like you wouldn't expect Tager to talk with Tsubaki that much.
Yeah, or one of the Murakumos.
Yeah, more. Well, actually, no, the Murakuma, she's around, but actually, no, not really. Bang wouldn't really be talking to someone.
Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel. That much. No. Not that much. No, not really at all. But the gag reels that do happen, they show us like what would happen if they were talking to each other.
Yeah, like some of them, the whole crew winds up interacting.
Yeah, exactly. And there are some gag reels that involve the entire cast or something like that. Just trying to fit in these characters that don't belong to this person's story, yet it's still here.
Just to get a big crowd.
Yeah, just
interaction. And if you've got the whole roster, use the whole roster.
Yeah, exactly. If you're gonna use a gag reel, you might as well just screw around with whoever like would not interact with each other regularly. Regularly? I can't speak.
Rivalry.
How
you say rivalry?
Rivalry. Guys, it's rivalry.
Rivalry.
Sorry. Anyways, but yeah, like, character interaction is very interesting in that series, and I wish they would do more, but I don't think they will, and that's depressing to say the least. Because like, I mean, we don't know. It may or may not. Who knows? But I think Guilty Gear is going to continue on. Meanwhile, Blaze Blue is probably going to be left into the dust. Which makes me sad because I do like those characters. Not to say, like I said, not to say that the Guilty Gear characters aren't cool, but I definitely like the Blaze Blue characters a little bit more.
Ha.
A little bit. Which is why it's a criminal shame to not see a cross-tag game with Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear.
That seems like it would match up.
It
well.
would, I mean, like I said, they're both Arc systems. I mean, they could do it.
Come on.
Well, I mean, they've already made Blaze Blue cross-tag battle, so. And that's not even like, that's not even like, I was going to say, like, that's not even like a fight, not all the fighting game characters, but they're from other series, like RWBY, Persona. Like, they're in Cross Tag, like, there are a bunch of other characters from other series, not just like a fighting game.
Yeah, it's just.
And it's kind of weird to me to see, like, those characters, like,
everything the studio has on license.
yeah. I would feel like it would be really simple to have like a Blaze Blue cross Guilty Gear fighting game. I just wouldn't think I wouldn't think it would be that hard to do. Considering just how big the roster is for both. Well, I mean,
I wonder how often those are proposed.
What, like, who would you put in that cross-tag game?
Well, or no, like the either the talks between studios or between.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at
like, hey.
I mean, look at Marvel vs. Capcom. Like, if
that's a very long running one.
Well, the thing is that, like, unfortunately, you don't see. Like, Marvel vs. Capcom has a long running, like, not really long running, but it first actually didn't really start with, like, Marvel vs. Capcom, obviously. It started with a game called Coda, X-Men Children of the Atom. That was the first, like, that was kind of like the first Capcom fighting game that they put out using, like, the Marvel license. And it had, like, all the X-Men characters.
Ah.
And then it continued on with X-Men versus Street Fighter. And another game called Marvel Superheroes. Now, the thing is with both, X-Men vs. Street Fighter is a crossover, obviously, with the X-Men characters with Street Fighter characters. As, like, a double system, or not a double system, like a team fighting game. So you get, like, two characters on each side, and you get to fight each other.
Mm-hmm.
With Marvel Superheroes, it's a single-player fighting game, like, with just one character, not just two. But the thing is that this time around, they only used, like, a couple X-Men characters. They used Psylocke, Magneto, and Juggernaut. But everybody else actually was kind of normal Marvel. You had Captain America, you had Hulk, Iron Man. Oh wait, I'm dumb. I totally forgot. It's not just Psylocke, Juggernaut, and Magneto. It's also Wolverine as well. I'm stupid.
Ah.
Yeah, but like Psylocke, Wolverine, Magneto, and Juggernaut are in Marvel Superheroes. But like I said, Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, Spider-Man, for heroes are in there, along with Psylocke and Wolverine. And then you have the villains with Magneto, Juggernaut, Blackheart, which is probably one of my favorite characters. Like, I think he looks really cool. And Shimagoreth. And then as the mini boss, you get to face Doctor Doom. You get to face Doctor Doom, and the final boss is Thanos.
Ah.
So, Marvel Superheroes is based off of, like, War of the Gems, kind of, in the games. In Marvel Superheroes, you get, like, gem power-ups, like, determining on who you play as in the arcade system. Like, certain characters get their own gem, and like using those gems with conjunction with that character can cause different effects. So like with Wolverine, he gets like really up speed with the power gem. Spider-Man with the power gem, he gets another clone like across from him. So like if you closed in onto somebody, both Spider-Mans would be like on either side to punch you out.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a really ridiculous effect that can definitely like change the game. Captain America, I think he uses the Power Stone as well. And if you use like any kind of special move, they become like kind of a mini. They become like a mini super move.
Oh.
I can't remember the others except for like Magneto and Juggernaut. Like Juggernaut gets the Space Stone, and he gets super armor. It's not as effective as it was in Coda, but it's definitely like better, or definitely better. It's definitely like a less watered down version, but it's still decent. Magneto gets his force field from Coda. He was the final boss in the Children of the Atom, and he was a cheap shit. But
no salt there.
One of the reasons why is because he has a force field he can use to just block anything. In Marvel superheroes, it's kind of watered down and not as strong, but it definitely can do its job. As for Shimmer-Gareth is actually a very interesting character. He's actually a chaos god that fights Doctor Strange. He's kind of like he's a tentacle monster with like an eyeball.
Okay.
He's kind of weird, but he's in lore he shouldn't be. He should be the most powerful out of all the characters because he like if you touch him he can just not touch him, but like if you fought him in like his actual form, he would be unbeatable because like he's so fucking huge.
In my final form.
Exactly. But like they kind of like shortened him down to make him playable.
I gotcha.
And then you have, like I said, my favorite of the villains. You have Blackheart. He's actually he's a villain of Ghost Rider. He's the son of the devil, Mephisto.
Oh.
But what I like about him is just his appearance. Like he's a giant demon with like porcupine spikes out of his head, like with like hair.
It's not Nicolas Cage.
What?
Ghost Rider.
Oh God, not that movie. Don't remind me of that movie. Ugh. So bad. It's so bad. I'm sorry. That movie is so horrible. That Ghost Rider movie is so bad. But either way. But Blackheart, like I said, he has like this really cool like dark blue black like body, and he has like a kind of a giant tail. He has like claws and like just this typical looking demon that looks really cool. Like just this, he just looks really badass in my opinion.
Nice.
And then, like I said, you have like other Marvel superheroes, like I said, with Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, just your regular slew of MCU Marvel characters compared to like the X-Men. So then after that game, Marvel Superheroes, you have Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, which was kind of weird. Because in both X-Men versus Street Fighter, and then Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, you fight against Apocalypse, which is like the X-Men's like one of the X-Men's big bads that you fight.
Right.
And then you also get to fight Cyber Akuma in that game too. And like if you don't know who Akuma is, like Akuma is the he's from Street Fighter. He uses the Shingoku Satsu, or the demon attack to destroy your soul. He's kind of like, I wouldn't say I don't know how to explain Akuma. He's not like evil, but he's definitely like kind of evil. He's in that moral gray area because he's like he wants to fight the strongest opponents. Like he wants to fight them to test his strength.
Oh yeah, and it'll wind up causing some extra problems, but
yeah,
he's not doing it because he wants to start those problems. He just wants to fight people.
No, like he's not like M. Bison where he wants to take over the world. And like M. Bison is like genuinely evil. But Akuma is kind of like this no nonsense fighter that is hungry for battle all the time. And how do you make him more deadly? Well, you put cybernetics into him, and you turn him into like a flying. You kind of turn him into like a flying half cyborg.
Oh my goodness!
Just to kick your ass. He's actually really tough in that game. Like he's really fucking tough. And then after Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, you finally get Marvel vs. Capcom 1. Like all those games were just stepping stones to finally make Marvel vs. Capcom 1, and then after that, Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
That's a lot of in-betweens.
Yeah, and the thing is that like it's cool to see MVC 1 because there are a lot of other new sprites. I mean, yeah, there are a lot of reused assets when you went from X-Men versus Street Fighter, like Marvel Superheroes, and Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. Like a lot of those characters were reused assets. But then like Marvel vs. Capcom comes around, and like there are certain other characters that have not been made. Venom was one of the new sprites. Mega Man, like Anniversary Classic Mega Man, Captain Commando, Jin. Who else? I wouldn't say Morrigan was. No, she wasn't. She was used in the Darkstalkers games. Strider Hiryu. Who else? I don't think anybody from the Marvel side was kind of new. But either way, like, yeah, there was just a bunch of. Oh wait, I said Venom. Whoops. But yeah, like there was a bunch of new sprites, and what was cool about it was just we finally get to see this mixture of like Capcom characters, like classic old Capcom characters versus like Marvel superhero Street Fighter character, or not Street Fighter, but like actual Marvel characters.
Mm-hmm.
And then how do you make it even more crazy? You put you have like a 3-on-3 fighting system with Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and you put every single like asset that you've had from all the other Marvels from the Marvel Capcom universe. Capcom arcade, and then you put like a couple other characters that are new into the mix, and there you go. You get one of the most iconic looking rosters you've ever seen. And that's a statement. That's a statement on like fighting games in general, just how cool and how big your roster can be.
I do appreciate when games provide you with just the most obnoxiously large roster you possibly could get.
Like I said, like with Street Fighter Cross Tech or Street Fighter or not Street Fighter, Tekken Tag Tournament 2 definitely has that too. Like just a bunch of characters.
That's a pretty sizable one.
Mortal Kombat Armageddon wasn't really that good, but it definitely had the roster down to a lot of people. Like it had the entire cast in that game. Street Fighter 4, Ultimate Street Fighter 4 definitely like threw in a bunch of characters and like have one of the bigger rosters too. Just a bunch of people, and then you finally like get to like newer games, and I'm not saying like Smash Brothers Ultimate isn't like. I'm not saying Smash is a fighting game like a 2D, but it's definitely like up there with like the roster with how many characters you can fit in.
Yeah, they wound up making that one pretty impressive.
Yes, they did. Actually, if you excuse me, Alex, real quick, I'm going to go to the restroom. I'll be right back.
Cool.
Take the commentary from here.
Oh my god. I don't want to. I'm sucking. I'm sucking at the drawing.
No, that's okay.
Sucking.
We haven't really talked about it that much.
It's bad. Bad times all over.
I believe you.
Here's the struggle, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot draw legs. I can draw legs. I can't draw something about the way I'm trying to posing the back of these legs is kicking my butt, and I can't quite figure it out. It's what it might wind up being is that her torso is proportioned incorrectly, and that's why I'm having a hard time sizing up the legs to match. Because she's got long legs, and her torso is usually kind of crunched. It's a you know what it is? It's a skinny upper body and a wider lower body. That's probably the main piece I'm missing on this. Basically, for the rest of the drawing, we're gonna skip the legs because we're almost an hour in now, and this is as far as I've gotten. This is some slow progress, but we can try to detail the rest of the coat. Do a better job with her face. I haven't drawn the tail yet. I didn't even have the tail in the last thing because I didn't think about it. I definitely still see the underside of the paws. We got better quality braids. One braid's a little shorter than the other. This is a deal. It's, I'm still realizing that I'm quite new to digital art as opposed to pencil art, and so there's a lot of new little pieces that I'm trying to have to figure out, and it's going to take time. So not every as big as my ego was during the last expression sheet, I'm thoroughly humbled by this drawing.
Alex got to take next peg or two now.
Absolutely.
Now it's time to strap up your boxing gloves and take a swing.
But
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the expression sheet, but seeing you do this right here, I want to see what you can do even more.
Well, and this is one of the things I was having a little existential crisis over last week. I was like, I did the whole expression sheet, but that was basically all just copying. I was like, I haven't drawn anything original yet.
Yeah,
I don't know how to do that.
No, that's fine.
So now I'm sitting there going, all right, let's try something original-ish, and all this is pseudo original in that it's just putting a character in a new pose, which shouldn't be that difficult. But
Lord, look, Alex, you don't have to make your own character. That's not the whole objective here.
Well, no, but that's a cool thing to build.
Oh no,
onto.
I always encourage any kind of original character artwork. I think that's very cool. But sometimes you just for me, I love just drawing other people's artwork, not just copying them, but trying to replicate it into my own style. So I've already told you this, Alex, but like I said, that vial drawing that I had, I actually took the reference off of that, off of DeviantArt. And
yeah, you've mentioned that before.
Yeah. I was just telling our audience here. And instead of using the program that they used, I used
LibSprite.
Like I said, I used LibSprite because I like doing my pixel art. And while it did kind of look similar to the drawing, it wasn't completely a copy. It had differences.
Yeah, because it was an original. It was a different enough style.
Yeah.
That there was a lot of things that you were having to put your own spin on.
Yeah. Not to mention, I had to, in order to make it look believable as to use that as the reference, I had to use different lighting techniques instead of using the software that he uses. I use my own coloring to try to make the shading look believable, make the arms look like they're kind of shiny instead of look kind of dull,
Yeah, and that there's a lot of that I don't know how to execute on Blender yet.
No, that's fine.
And that's, these are all things to be learned in time.
Yeah. And the thing is that like what I'm seeing right now is like you're getting a good grasp of like what kind of shading technique that you have for certain objects. Like I'm seeing with the ears right here. Like it looks like in hindsight, it just looks like you just colored in the ear, but at the same time, it's shading because of like it's in the inside.
Yeah, and it would have layers.
Yeah,
I knew how to change the
no, that's fair.
Thickness or things like that.
The thickness. Get up and down with the thickness.
I am up and down with the thickness. Another thing that's really different in digital art world is drawing. Like in pencil art, you'll wind up shaving down an edge of your lead.
Yes.
And basically on one unit you have a bunch of different widths or thicknesses that you can play with.
Yeah.
And you can kind of, if you want something more broad, you move it to the flat edge. If you want something sharper, you move it to the pointy edge.
Yeah.
And that's like another piece that I'm missing here, where on this, everything's the same thickness.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I don't get to, this isn't a drawing tablet. This is just a pad, so I'm looking at the screen, but I can't see what my hand's doing.
Yeah.
And so
it's kind of
normally I would really be able to zoom myself in and
it's kind of hard to focus with,
and make it detailed. But it's funny, like, so I'll draw a line here.
Yeah.
Right. And then,
oh no.
And then zoom way into that line.
Uh-huh.
Same thickness. And it's like you would, intuitively when you're drawing with a pencil, you would think, all right, I'm going to move really, really close and I'm going to use the flat side of the deal. But there's a lot of articulation that I have to learn how to do differently.
Okay.
On this program. Not dogging on Blender, by the way.
No, that's fair.
This is all operator error, not
software error.
Right? Yeah, it's not the program has a lack of tools. It's that I don't know how to use them.
No, that's fine. And with time, like I said, like you haven't really used Blender that much, so I mean, like you're starting to get more and more into it. You'll learn the intricacies of Blender, and like I wouldn't say in no time, but like with more time and more experience with it, you'll definitely be able to like treat it as like it's your everyday occurrence.
And honestly, this is really true to the show name. This is the practice room. We're not experts.
Exactly. We're not like guys.
With the whole,
we make the joke about we're professional in terms of like commentary and stuff, and we're really not. I mean, that's why we have the practice room here, because we use this as a time to show you guys. While we are trying to make like an entertaining show with like making artwork and stuff, we're also kind of going through our own learning experience here.
Yeah, this is a whole piece of this is just encouraging me and Jordan to draw at least once a week.
Yeah.
Just to get that time in.
Yeah, of course. And the thing is like as we go on with the episodes, we try to show our major improvements to show you guys like, hey, like this is something interesting that you guys can even try and see if you guys can even make you guys can actually make something even better than us.
Right.
We're just showing what we think we're just trying to show like how passionate we are with certain drawings, and that's why we draw the stuff that we do.
Oh yeah, this is the medium of expression that we love.
Yeah.
Or just putting time into it, man.
By the way, I love this right here. I'm loving it.
And I hadn't really thought about the hood detail until kind of right now, because Tao's face is very simple.
Yeah, it's just It's just a black circle with like red eyes and teeth. Kind of.
But one of the things that I hadn't really thought about was like, even though that's simple, her hood is intricate.
Oh yeah, of course,
and can have a lot of detail to it.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of the relk that Quarians wear.
Yes. Oh, I didn't know there was a name for that.
Well, I think I said it wrong, anyways. But I'll try to fix it, or you'll try to fix it in post. Who knows? But yeah, like the Quarians, they have like they're not just.
That's another thing we're learning on the side is how to edit videos.
Oh yeah. But anyways, yeah, the Quarians in Mass Effect, they have. They're not just wearing the environment suit. They also have like hoods that they wear over their environment.
There's a hood over the helmet.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I like about them. Like they look interesting with it. Because I mean, I'm not saying they don't look interesting without it, but it definitely looks really cool when they have like the relks.
And they talk about that in Mass Effect, how like because they spend their whole lives in the suits, that their way to express themselves through clothing is with these really intricately designed cloaks and hoods.
Well, yeah, and also like it gives off the history. Like when you wear those relks, like if you see,
it's got a lot of cultural significance to it.
Yeah, like with young, like the younger Quarians, like that are still going off on their pilgrimage, like they don't have the relks like as intricate as per se like one that's an adult and one that's came back from the pilgrimage.
Yeah, that gets developed over time.
Yeah. And then what I like about the Quarians is that they're not like that's I actually kind of like that effect.
There's a wireframe for you.
Yeah, that's cool. But here's the thing. What I like about the Quarians, and I've made this kind of a similarity. While the Krogan and the Turians, like the Turians are kind of militaristic in sense where they are all like they all go to a military at a young age to serve. And the Krogans are always about battle, like not.
They're the warrior culture.
Yeah, they're the warrior culture. Like both of them are kind of warrior cultures.
One's just a little bit more sophisticated.
One's more savage than the other. Yeah. The Quarians don't really. I mean, they do have war, and they do fight, but they remind me a lot, honestly, of elves.
Yeah, like the Tolkien style elves.
They more remind me of the Eldar kind of.
Oh,
from Warhammer.
I'm not as familiar with Warhammer.
I'm not really either, but I do like I always kind of like the idea of like the Quarians just kind of being space elves. Like I think that would be really fun. I think that idea would be really cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm always a fan of elves because I think they're really cool. Like I think they have different designs. And while they are kind of humanoid, they have differences to a point where like they don't look actual human. Like with the pointed ears, like kind of the longer hair, like
yeah,
they kind of look more beautiful compared to like. I'm not saying humans can't look beautiful.
They're still distinguishable.
Yeah.
Than those ugly humans.
No. I'm just saying that I think they would look cool if they were space elves. But I mean, I like the whole idea of like them also being like rangers, because usually elves are rangers as well. Like they use like bows and arrows and
right
and all that stuff. Like they take up archery, and like I'm always expecting like the Quarians to be like good, really really good snipers.
Yeah.
I would think that in their environment suit they would have like this. They would have this lock on like AI kind of heavy. I wouldn't say AI heavy. That would totally go against what they were. See, I'm trying, but I'm saying like I meant VI. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, like use a VI to.
Very technology assisted.
Yeah.
Weaponry.
I mean, considering that Tally uses a drone to shock people or blow it up.
Right.
But I just think the idea of like the Koreans, like I said, just being elves are just really cool. The Asari are more kind of strange to me.
Yeah.
I know they fight, obviously. And it's mostly because they use
magic.
Magic. Damn it! I'm stupid. I can't remember what I was gonna say.
I don't remember what their power thing is called.
This is bugging me now.
Whatever, the R.Yakshi are like the super powerful ones.
No, but like I'm trying to remember what the power was they use with their minds. Like, oh my god!
Just like variety mind power. I don't know.
No, they use the Mass Effect fields to.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh god, this is bothering me. And I should know this because I play a lot of Mass Effect, and I'm pretty sure you did too.
I did, but they don't remember explaining that.
No, it does explain it in the stories.
Okay.
Because Caden's one.
Oh, Caden's not alive in my game.
Oh my god, I forgot. I mean, I don't.
Ashley only runs for me.
I know, whatever. But no, I'm trying to remember. It sucks because I'm thinking.
Technically, I've never played the first game.
I have played the first game. I played the second game, and I played some of the third. And
what do you mean, some of the third?
What? What do you mean?
That's like the big conclusion.
I know,
do you only play some of the third?
I need to finish it.
Bruh.
Come on, man.
Bruh.
I liked both 1 and 2.
I know. I'm just picking.
I know. And I think 2 is the best game anyways. Fight me on that if you guys want. I love 2.
I enjoyed 2 a lot.
2 is my favorite.
That's definitely a tough one to pick against.
I'm sorry, but I think it has the best fucking crew. Like, sure, I don't really care for Miranda, and Jackins, whatever, but I like everybody else. Like, I mean, Jacob's kind of run of the mill. I mean, he's fine.
I accidentally romanced Jacob. Didn't realize what I was doing until it was too late.
that he gets a wife afterwards.
That too, but I didn't realize quite how the romancing worked.
No, it's fine.
With just the regular dialogue. I thought we were just chatting. Mm-hmm. Apparently, he wanted to be more than friends. Oh, and apparently, I went along with it at some point. And then when I wanted to romance other characters, and they were like, "Well, what would Jacob say?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I got it." But now I feel bad about it because I'm like, he's all invested. I can't break up with him just like this.
Oh no.
Like, I got to start the whole game over now.
From the moment I started Mass Effect, I knew who was my favorite. I always knew. I'm sorry, bro. So like I've had two playthroughs as a female shepherd and a male shepherd, and the two choices I've always made for each gender, male shepherd was always going to be for Tally. I'm sorry, Liara. Sorry for anybody else. Tally's just my number one girl for male shepherd.
Tally is a good pick.
Tally is
not going to fault you for that one.
Female, Garrus. I can't.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Pretty much every fem shep.
I'm sorry. It's just you. Here's the deal, and I've said this before.
There's no shepherd without a Vicarian.
Yeah, but no. The problem is like here's the thing. You go through the series. You go through 1, 2, and 3. Who are the two characters that are always with you?
Oh yeah, he's a ride or die. 100%.
No, and so is Tally. Tally's ride or die, and you know why? All three of them are in your crew, no matter what.
The whole time.
Garrus is with you all the way. I mean, like Tally is with you.
The overwhelming majority of the way, yeah.
But Garrus is like there. He is your bro. Like if Male Shepherd was like had a brother, that would be like Garrus.
That'd be a fun one.
That'd be like it's kind of like the Rick and Morty dude. Like you know how like Rick and Morty, Jerry was in that world, and the mailman guy, he's like my man.
Oh yeah,
I love my man. I love that. I love that part of Rick and Morty. I think it's funny.
Human music.
But
human
music. But yeah, like I think Garrus is just, like I said, true ride or die guy. And Tally is too. Like she's a ride or die girl because she's been in the first game. In the second game, she's the first character you see. She's the first of the recurrings that you see. And you really see like a difference in her personality. And that's what I love about her. Like, she actually evolves from just being a shy Quarian girl to trying to be a mature Quarian woman. Like, leading a team.
Right. Yeah, didn't she become an admiral by the end of the...
Yeah, in the third game, she became a fucking admiral. I'm like, yo, that's character development, bitch. Woo. Hell yeah. And it makes it even better as a Male Shepherd and you're dating this chick. You see just the progression. I'm like, yes, this is the best. This is the best of any world. Other than obviously everybody wanting female shepherd with Garrus. And look, I'm gonna get a lot of people that says, "Oh no, like Tally's not the best. It's Randa or Jack," and I'm like, first of all,
not as many people are gonna say that.
Or Liara or
Liara would be your strongest contender against Tally. I
don't know, man. Like
as far as popularity.
Oh no! I get that. I get it. I understand. But when I first met Liara in the first game, I thought she's obviously this awkward kind of shy Asari, and she's kind of she's kind of a bookworm, or I don't know.
She's a huge nerd.
She's a huge nerd. Yeah. And the thing was, what sucks is that obviously you couldn't romance Tally at that point because she's a young girl. And you're an older man,
gentleman,
and the only two choices were
it would never work between us, darling.
Exactly, and the only two choices were Ashley and Liara, and I didn't like either choice. And the reason why I didn't like Ashley is because I've said this before. I didn't really care. I just hated how she was. She was just kind of racist.
Yeah.
I just didn't like that about her.
She was very team human.
Yeah, and I didn't like that. I'm like, these people, not even these people, but these aliens are coming to help us.
Like part of Shepard's whole gig is that he can get anyone to join.
Exactly, and like he's building a crew that you've never seen before, and the person, and you're gonna just say like oh, like we don't need these. Like I don't trust the Turian or the.
It's like when you play Faster Than Light, you always grab one of each race.
Yeah, and like when I heard that from her, I was like, "You bitch! You realize that we're all in this together, right?"
Come on,
exactly. Like, come on, be a team player. Other than being team human, and I just didn't like that about her. I was like, you know what? No, I don't like that. I don't like her. I mean, I warmed up over time, but like, she's just not the one, man. Same with Liara. Like, Liara is just kind of awkward, and
That makes her cute.
Oh God! No, but what really?
If you couldn't tell who I picked,
yeah.
which actually, I have one gameplay where I carried Tally through both 2 and 3.
Yeah.
And then I have one gameplay where I went half Jacob Bale, didn't finish on anybody, and then in the third game I went full Yara.
No, but like I think I didn't romance anybody in Mass Effect 1. Because I just didn't have my heart wasn't in it. Like I didn't care for.
Nobody got your attention.
No, nobody.
No one caught your eye from across the room.
And then I played as female, but Garrus definitely did. Garrus did, but Kaden no. No Kaden. He's boring. He's kind of white bread.
No.
But
no fun in Caden.
Nope. Anyways, so
what was the name of the muscly guy that was in the third one?
Huh?
The muscular Hispanic guy.
Oh, are you talking about Vega?
Vega.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him like when I was playing the female shepherd and he started nicknaming her. I was like, nope, stop that. None of that. I'm not falling for this again.
Shame on you.
You can't trick me.
I'm on to you. But
it's Tally or bust.
Oh, yes. No, but yeah, like I didn't, and also you had to. I took into account that Liara is just kind of grieving over like how her mother is kind of like the side villain along with along with Saren Arterius.
Yeah.
And it just felt kind of weird, like just to romance a girl that was like going through a lot of strife and just like.
Yeah, do you date the girl that's got all the drama behind it?
Yeah, and the thing is that like, but people would probably argue like, oh, she needs someone to hold on to, or like she needs some kind of comfort, and I get that, but at the same time, it's like you're in the middle of a mission, fighting this threat of Saren, and I mean, you could say the same with the second and third game at the same time, but I just at the time. It felt like it was a really fragile alliance with your crew. Like you just got this crew together, and she was actually the last one. She's obviously the last one you pick up,
right?
So it's kind of like a newcomer kind of thing.
Yeah, why do you start dating the one that right off?
Yeah, right off the bat you find. So yeah, I saved. I didn't romance anybody in the first game. Kind of lame. Yeah, whatever.
It's okay.
So then the second game rolls around, and then I realized you can actually like I said, there wasn't an option to romance Tally in the first game, so I was like, whatever. But then I saw in the second game you could. I was like, I'm ready. My body. I was like Reggie from Nintendo. I was like, my body is ready. Sorry, but yeah. In the second game, like I said, you have the choice between Miranda, Jack, Samara, and Tally.
Or Morinth, if you didn't go Samara.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Or Morinth.
Both of which would kill you. Samara, well, doesn't Samara refuse to kill you?
Yeah, she refuses to kill you.
Yeah, but Morinth is all for it.
Yeah. But here's...
By the way, why would anyone pick Morinth over Samara?
I don't know.
Who is the evil person?
I don't know, but like, Samara is the busted...
Because somebody did.
You have to remember, though. I mean, you have to pick her for, like, a renegade, you know?
I guess if you wanted to go full renegade, but still.
But either way.
Do you pick against Samara?
Why would you pick against the Justicar MILF? Why would you pick?
She's the best.
She's the busty Justicar. But I picked against her. No. No.
What was good? No, I'm thinking back to Garrett's comment where he was talking about Asari, and he was like, "Yeah, they get older, and then they just keep growing and keep growing."
Shit.
Everybody trying to have sex with the Asari.
That's not new.
Get away for a minute. I have calibrations to make.
I gotta do some calibrations.
I love that line. It's so it's autopilot when you. It's actually autopilot dialogue when you talk to him sometimes. Like when you want to talk to him, he's like, "Hey, Garrus, you want to talk for a minute?" He's like, "Can you wait for a minute? I'm making calibrations." Just shit like that. It makes it funny.
Oh my god, there was such good writing.
It was so good. Like that game, like I said, the second game, my favorite. But anyways, so yeah. Back to the whole romance thing. Yeah, when I saw Miranda and I saw how much of a cold, frigid bitch she was, and like how she's just kind of like she's trying too hard because she's the perfect genetic like engineered human.
Yeah, and she hates her dad.
Yeah, exactly. And she has like daddy issues.
All that drama that
blah.
went on. And even when you go help her, she still doesn't trust you.
Yeah, exactly. And the biggest thing that said that I declined, I was like, no, is the fact that she works for Cerberus. And I'm like,
yeah,
no.
That one was a hard.
I'm like, no.
I could have romanced her in the third game, but not the second game. It's like you're just gonna betray me.
No,
I have no trust.
I explicitly fucking hated Cerberus and what they were doing in the first game. I hated it so much.
It actually took me a while to figure it out. I was slow to the draw.
No, it's fine. But
I was slow to the draw on Cerberus being the bad guys, but I really enjoyed messing with the main guy. Who was the Cerberus guy?
Oh, Tim? The Elusive Man?
The Elusive Man.
Yeah, Tim.
I know, you always call him Tim, and I'm like,
well,
who?
that's what sorry, it's just, I call him Tim because sometimes they say, like, Tim, the Elusive Man.
Yeah. Oh, I never even thought about that. Okay,
yeah,
that's
you
funny.
still
yeah. I always enjoyed messing with the Elusive Man. Like I would pick the options that were just back sass to hell.
That's sass though.
Yeah, they were. That was always fun, and it wasn't until
but
later,
I just
it was like, oh yeah.
But yeah, like when I played through the first game and I saw what Cerberus did, when I see it, I'm like, I can't trust these people, even though they're helping me. I can't trust them, and I definitely cannot trust Miranda. She's a fucking cheerleader for Cerberus at that point. I mean, yeah, she gets better later on, but like at that point, I was like, no. Even in the third game, I mean, she's not really part of Cerberus anymore, isn't she?
No, in the third game, she fixes you up and
yeah, but I just don't think
and is just like, I'm going to follow you, Shepard.
Yeah, but
as long as you help my
sister. Yeah, but I just don't really care for it. Like she joined it for a purpose, and I just don't like what Cerberus stands for. Then moving on, we have Jack. Jack's an interesting character. I like her. Like, I mean, she had her whole life fucked up by Cerberus, and she really hates Miranda. So that's kind of points there. But I just don't trust her enough. She's just kind of a wild card. She's too much of a wild card. Like too much of a
where she could act out on you pretty good.
Too much of a loose cannon.
But then she reveals her inner self when you go on the mission with her.
Oh, of course, but I just didn't like her at that point. I mean, I like her now, but I'm not like... She's just not my romance option. And then you have Samara. I'm not saying that I'm against Samara, but...
I actually would have romanced Samara had she not killed you. Or been able to kill you.
Yeah. I'm not really... Like I said, I'm not really into Samara. She's kind of like a matronally figure to me. I don't know. Something about it. So at that point, all I had left in my decision making was Tally. And the thing is, like I said, like there are a lot of reasons why I like Tally. She was always with you no matter what. She was always for Team Shepard. Like that's the thing. Like even with Edie, even with Edie on board,
Yep.
she was like, "It's like you need a grenade, I got you. I'll blow up this fucking ship."
She was even on. She would still be a fan if you had betrayed her at the council and
Really?
trash talked her dad.
Really? I didn't do that though.
I didn't do it either. I could not.
I couldn't either. I couldn't do that to her. I couldn't do that to my space waifu. But anyways, but yeah, like, just so much about her was really cool. Like, I thought, just like I said, when she was always in the tech speak with the reactors, like, she was always trying to improve efficiency of the reactors, like, just anything of the sort. And then, like, her funny dialogue is just really interesting.
It was funny.
Like, especially when she's down in the engineering room with Gabby and
yeah, they were fun.
yeah, those
You
are
wind
great.
up playing the card game with them or whatever, and you're like, "Oh, I've never played this before." It takes all their money.
I love it. So yeah, like it just was obvious to me, like, just, and then you get to learn more about her, like, about the flotilla. Like, I've always liked the whole thing about the flotilla.
It's got a really cool culture.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool. Like, I liked the whole thing with the Geth. Like, I thought it was really interesting. Oh, and the game definitely earned points for me when you got the final character, Legion. I got him as my final character, but
Does this unit have a soul?
I love it. I love it so much.
He was pretty cool. He really grew on me in the third game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, see, I don't think he called himself Legion in the third game.
I think he still did, but either way. And I think the best part about 3 was, for me, when we went with Tally, was, like, finally.
I had a hard time in the second game on the mission where you eventually wind up collecting Legion, and you're fighting your way through all those the little zombie, the corrupted creatures.
Yeah,
and they're just throwing themselves.
Husks.
Yeah, the husks, and you have to just survive in that room while just waves and waves of husks. Oh my god, I died so many times.
Oh, what I also liked about the game was, like, I tried so hard for the Paragon.
Kasumi was useless in that mission.
Oh no, I like her.
She's great, but she was no help. I needed tanks, and I didn't realize
sad
it
that she's not
a.
I'm also. I mean, I understand why she's not a romance option, but I wish she was.
God, I wish she was.
She was cool.
She was so cool. And I loved her little infiltration.
Oh, I love it. That
was
too.
So fun.
Honestly, you know what the funny thing was? I actually made a comparison. I was like, you know what? I feel like Kasumi and Tally would be like sisters. They just have this similar look.
I could see that.
I mean, because, like, Kasumi is cheeky and she's very like infiltrating. She's just very snarky. And then you have Tally that's kind of like, she has the snark, but she's also kind of, like, shy and, like, more info. Like, she's kind of a nerd.
Something called a Kasumi is roaming around the ship,
love
pretending to be invisible.
I love it. She's probably one of my favorite DLC characters. And the worst part about it is that she's not in the series more. And it's so depressing because
I felt like we were missing out on her in the third game.
We really were.
That would have been cool.
Mm-hmm. I didn't really care for Zed, but I thought he was cool too.
I did not have the DLC.
Oh, Zed was the guy that
I know. Yeah, I know who he was.
Oh, okay.
And the whole. Technically, you see him in one of the missions where you go back to the Citadel or wherever.
Is it the party?
No, not the Citadel DLC, but the in the third game there where you go back to whatever the main planet is to go grab this relic because I don't know, like the Reapers were trying to take down the shields of this one place, and then this guy the news. Whatever Cerberus warrior that they had concocted shows up. It's like Kang or whatever.
Kang.
and he winds up fighting you instead. And when
okay.
you touch the beacon or whatever, that's what it was. It was another artifact.
Oh,
and
was it on Eden Prime?
I don't remember the planet names.
Okay.
No, it wasn't the one on Eden Prime. It was the one that was kept on Earth.
Oh, okay.
I think it was on Earth. You touch it and the Prothean shows up and he's like, "This is what's going down.
This is what's happening.
Let me explain the visions.
Let me be back to the future for you." But yeah, like just I think Mass Effect 2 had like my favorite crew of all time. Just while it didn't have Rex or Liara, I mean that sucks, kind of. I actually did not mind Samara or Grunt. I thought both.
I enjoyed Grunt.
Grunt was cool. I still like him. I do like both Rex and Grunt though. Like I think. Grunt,
I wouldn't. I wouldn't say that one's like better than the other.
Oh yeah, I like them both equally. Liara is definitely different compared to Samara.
Very different.
Yeah. Considering one has lived for ages and the other is still...
And she really separates herself when she becomes the
Shadow Broker. Yeah. I could see that. I mean, like, Liara definitely makes a name for herself and has, like, a different personality compared...
I think one big thing you see is that Liara is like the modern Asari, whereas Samara is like older. is the cultured hit, traditional.
Yeah.
She's got all of that kind of.
She has traditions she has to follow as a Justicar.
Right. Okay, I think I'm at a stopping point here.
Hey, no problem.
I think we actually wound up
to actually talk about your progress.
We actually wound up making a decent recovery. Went back in and just kind of detailed hood and face and side, and then the big zipper. And
I definitely here's
lighted the braids, and then just did the little fingertips.
Here's the one thing that I definitely love the improvement on. I definitely love the improvement on the face. Like the teeth are definitely that now. They definitely look like Taokaka.
I had to go back and look at how they did them exactly.
Yeah. I also like the different crescent moon kind of eyes that you gave her instead of like the
they're not the straight ones.
Yeah. I like that though. I like that detail. The braids are definitely better now. Like they're not as small. Like the hair looks definitely.
Yeah, I could probably go back and spend more time on the her left braid.
Yeah.
Some more.
But it definitely looks better. The paws, they look really nice.
The paws have been great the whole time.
Yeah.
I had no problems with the paws. That was the easy part for me.
Right. The zipper looks better too. Like the
zipper came out better.
The paw zipper.
I've actually had some experience drawing zippers.
That's cool. But anyways, so with that...
Good times all around.
So next time I will be back around for round 2 of my items. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna see if I can draw even better items.
Definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I've always been down for making just regular small pixel art items.
Yeah, there's probably not going to be a part 2 of this one.
Really? You're not gonna finish it?
No, No.
Okay.
No.
I mean, if you want. Oh, excuse me.
Maybe later in time when I get more skilled.
Hey, that's cool. Don't worry.
Well, one thing we can look at is the
we can see the progression.
The progression. So this was the original.
Yeah, that's the original
outline. This is the original line art sketch out, and then we've got this monstrosity.
The one that you didn't really care for.
Just kind of, but this was very helpful, like in getting hood shape and shoulder location and paw location and the waist rotation. All of that was.
At least you had a basis of what you were doing. Instead of starting from complete scratch.
Well figured out, and then finally.
Yeah, you finally have like.
Just a more detailed version of the upper body.
Yeah, the upper body half of Taokaka. And let me say, I think you did an excellent job here.
I like it. I was mad at it about an hour in, and now I'm actually pretty happy with
it. That's good.
Made a solid recovery.
You caught it off the rebound.
Well, that is the practice room. You get a little better every day.
Yeah, exactly. Every day, man. You made a smooth, progressive, like looking drawing in the span of half an hour. So I'd say that's more of a good improvement than any.
And we'll take the wins where we can get them.
Indeed. Well,
we'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, guys, if you want to see more content. And Alex, like I said, he'll post that video of the initial drawing. And
it'll already be out by the time this one's out.
Yeah, I got you. Well,
we're saying this because we haven't uploaded either of them, so
yeah,
it makes sense in our context,
right.
But not in.
Don't worry, guys. You guys will see this like later on during the months. We'll definitely try to post as much as we can.
Oh yeah, keep an eye out for more time lapses. Those are fun.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely make that a trend on our channel.
Threatening to hunt down a document camera so I can record actual like pencil drawings.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyways, we'll see you guys next time on the next episode, guys.
Bye. Thanks for joining.